Morning, people, and here's an update for the quick update for the TR7 V8, the 4.6 litre. Okay, so as you can see, I've got everything back together again, and the temperature fault has now been resolved. I did have a break on the back of the membrane, a very slight break, and I think it's the stressing of me probably putting it back in again and doing X, Y and Z. So I actually put a link, one of the connections to the 3 connections runs along and comes over to the fuel gauge. It's like a looped ground which comes all the way across, and I just made sure that connection was there. Plus I had to replace the actual, you see that? I actually had to replace the crimp, clean up the connection there. When the engine was getting warm, I was measuring the resistance of the sender unit, the temperature transmitter, and that was going down in temperature. Putting that back in and then putting it to ground, the needle was wanting to go but not quite, and what I had to do was replace the crimp, because when I took the crimp off, the original spade crimp, the wiring inside the crimp looked quite rusted, so I had to cut the wire back a bit. Hence this cable now is a little bit tighter to get some good clean wire within this insulation. So it's just an age thing with that. And yeah, there were 2 faults really, but I think the original fault was probably to do with that crimp. As you can see, also the clock is now working. There you are. I did check that I had the 12 volts with the ignition off. The ignition is off. Yeah, now it's on. Cooling light goes out. Obviously, I've not started the car this morning. The temperature gauge is completely down at 0. But believe me, it is working. And I'm so chuffed that the clock is working now. I did have a spare. And no matter what I do with this one, it only seems to want to work if it's upside down. But I had this in my lab, so to speak, and yeah, so this is just a spare one really. I'll try and get this working. It's obviously with the issue is it starts to kick, but the little rotary action which knocks the little spindle, I suppose, it's actually worn. So, but I have actually tried knocking the battery isolator off and back on, and she does come on, so that's giving me every confidence that it's working. Just another point of note as well regarding the wiring of this car, the radio. For some reason I'd lost the left hand speaker, and I thought, oh crumbs, when you mess about with these things. And what it turns out is that the fader is actually the balance, and the balance is the fader. So work that one out. So again, it just didn't give me the confidence of how this thing was wired up. And yeah, I never really spotted it because I hadn't really been using the radio. I can't see the display in the daytime anyway, so hey. And also, the radio loses all power when the ignition is off. You know, you can't even turn it to, you only get power there when it's on the radio, when the ignition light's on, and when you just turn it off. Now, if you had all your stations saved and everything, you know, it would. So perhaps I should put it to the cigar lighter, who knows, eh? But I'm not really that worried about it. It's not as if I'm using this car to go out and listen to music. But yeah, that in a nutshell is it. I'm going to get the dashboard back on, and I'm going to take this out for a spin again today. And I might just do a little dash cam footage. So that's the update for the 8, and yeah, I am getting there. I'd like to say, oh, incidentally, Rob Sport did have the right hand side assembly of the screen and the air controls, and it was from an early coupe. I'm not sure if you remember the previous video where the 3 connections were together. On the other one they had, it actually had 2 lower down and 1 higher up. So I would say that, you know, the first connection is speed 1. So they probably had the distance between the top connection and the first one to get to the lower speed. You probably had different resistor assemblies in that unit to take up to soak the heat. Anyway, I paid for it, and then they got a call back about an hour later saying they went to check their stock and it wasn't there. So I thought I'd had something coming that I'd be able to use, but not now. But she still got speed 3. So, you know, hey, I'll get there at some point. But yeah, that's it. I'm slowly getting this thing back to, well, I say slowly, getting this thing back with all the switches and lighting as it should be. Okay, with that, I shall leave it there, and thanks very much for watching. Bye now. So here we are at Jenny Cliff. I'm just going to take a run across the top of Jenny Cliff, come back out at Plymstock. Hopefully the traffic won't be too bad, and we'll have a look at what you're looking at. The island there is called Drake's Island, and the breakwater is on the left. Across the way is a place called Core Sands and King Sands. Yeah, sport down here really, but there you go. Oh, nice squeal. I'm going to have to renew that belt. Oh yes, I'm going to have to renew it. Let it just kick off a minute. I'm not going to talk all the way through it, so I think it is what it is. I'm just going to watch out for kids, dogs. Still working. When the roads are good, you should handle well. I'd seen that go past, I would have waited another 5-10 minutes perhaps. That was a bit mad.
I'll get you, my pretty. A little dark too.